Dana, this card, I mean, it's sold out in minutes, right? I mean, incredible crowd is going to be on hand. You follow the metrics. Is there one person or one fight that you can point to say, this is what moved the tickets?
So we got a champion from this country, and you got a rising star from New Zealand. You got a legend in Anderson Silva. Kelvin Gastelum is a great opponent for him because he's always overlooked, but he's a knockout artist, and people know that this is a real fight. You mix all that together, plus, other than that knucklehead that was out there about the top heavy card, you got guys like Krut, Cara France, tons of great talent on this card, and that's what sells out in 7 minutes.
When you see that happen, I mean, this has been a steady market for you, and you say it's a great market. Give us an idea of the plans for 2019, and when you see an arena sell out that fast, you start saying, maybe we can do a few more dates, maybe we can do a couple more times.
Yeah, so basically, if you look at, this is promotion 101, what we're doing right now out here in Australia, and then we sit back, we see what happens on Sunday, see how this whole thing plays out, and then we make our next move and where we go from there.
When the idea came together to put Adesanya and Anderson Silva together, I mean, stylistically, it's incredible, right? But were there any concerns like, man, Anderson's getting up there, we haven't seen him in a while, is he okay with this younger cat?
No, it depends on one thing and one thing only. When I sat in a room with Anderson Silva and offered him the fight, and he's like, okay, but what's in it for me? What's in it for this fight? I said, you'll be the #1 contender. He said, I'm in. I want the belt back. And I love that. I respect it so much. And that's when you know whether a guy, listen, if Anderson Silva was like, listen, I'm just looking for a guy for a paycheck, I'm getting up there, I don't want to fight tough guys anymore, this isn't the place for you. There's plenty of places out there. When you've seen, when guys, that's their attitude, we let them go, and we let them go fight wherever they want to. This isn't the place for that, and Anderson Silva isn't that guy, and I love that about him.
Whitaker, you touched on it a little bit up there. He's not a big braggadocio, trash-talking guy, but what he's done, his run, the wins over Yoel Romero, it's incredible. What do you think it's going to take for him to catch, so to speak, to start getting recognition as, one of the best fighters in the sport?
Listen, Chuck Liddell didn't become a big star overnight, neither did Anderson Silva and many, many other fighters. When you have that type of personality that's very low, he's just like Chuck and he's just like Anderson. You just have to keep doing your work, man. Keep doing your work, keep beating people, keep knocking people out, and eventually everybody opens their eyes and goes, wow, this guy's great.
You can't dictate what happens on Sunday morning, but a lot of people in this region, they're saying, boy, if Whitaker wins, if Adesanya wins, wouldn't that be an amazing fight? So I want to think, you can't look ahead, but if that fight comes together, I mean, do you think that's big enough that it could, revisit a stadium, do something that big down here?
That fight's massive. I mean, if that happens, that fight's massive. So we'll see what happens on Sunday, and we'll go from there.
Let's get a couple quick big fight updates. Everybody wants to see Cowboy against Conor. You know it. They want it. When's it going to happen? What's it going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see Conor fight this summer. So those two want to fight each other. They've both earned it. Cowboys fought anybody we've ever put against them. We throw this young killer Hernandez at him. Cowboy's the underdog. He goes in and does it the way he did it. And then Conor's fought everybody. If these two want to fight, I'm down.
Habib's team, and by Habib's team, I believe Adel Aziz is saying, they don't think Tony Ferguson deserves the next shot at that title. What do you think? I mean, you've said that Tony deserves it. Are you still in that camp that needs to be the fight that's next for Habib?
Of course Tony deserves it, and he's the #1 contender. He's the guy. That's the fight. That's the fight.
Any idea when it might happen? And I wonder, it's kind of a weird situation with Habib saying, I'm off suspension, but I'm not going to wait till my teammates are off. I mean, if he does that, do you get in a position where you got to start thinking interim title or stripping or something along those lines?
Well, I hear these things, but Habib hasn't told me that. I hear these things in the media and things like that. I haven't heard it from Habib. So when we talk, we'll figure it out and we'll see what happens.
Dustin Poirier is out there just begging for a fight. That man's on a tear. What's the plan for Dustin Poirier?
Yeah, I talked to him too. He's fired up and he wants a shot too. The problem is, and it's a good problem to have, that division is so stacked. It's the same thing with the middleweight division. If you look at the middleweight division and the 55-pound division from the champion all the way down to number 10, it's ridiculous. So you're going to have a lot of guys, wanting that title shot, and that's a great thing.
You going to put something together for Dustin soon? Or do you
Yeah. We'll get Dustin out there.
Cool. A guy from down here, Alex Volkanovski, has been making the rounds this week. He's saying, I'll take Holloway, I'll take Aldo, I'll take Edgar. Give me something big. What do you got lined up for him?
Love this kid. just came off a big win off a guy I respect very much in Chad Mendez, and we're going to get him something good. I know he's looking for things that just make him go this way, and we'll get him what he wants.
Any hint on that?
No, but we'll get him what he wants.
Fair enough. You know, you've been asked over and over about the flyweights, and you even talked about it today. I just want to ask you, I guess, a different way. Is there a date? You know what I mean? Everybody says, have you made a decision? Have you made a decision? No, we haven't. Is there a date that you say, because even Henry Cejudo's walking around saying, I don't know what's happening, and I wish I did know what's happening. Do you have a date, a plan in mind to say, man, we've got to have this thing figured out by so?
I don't, and nobody needs to know what's happening. Listen, when we're ready to say one way or the other, or if we were doing something, we'd come out with a press release. You know, nothing has been said. This has all been speculation because of what we're doing. You know, we've been letting guys go. But yeah, there's no decisions made. Believe me, when there's time to make a decision, we will let you know.
The last thing for me, Dan, I appreciate the time. I wanted to ask you about heavyweight because we thought we were getting DC and Brock, but it's been kind of quiet on that front. Now DC and Stipe, they're starting to go back and forth on social media a little bit. Give us an idea of what you see, because we know DC's on that timeline.
Yeah.
What's the plan at heavyweight?
Well, I don't think he has a timeline. DC's hurt, and you know, he was talking about retirement. You know me, I'm the first guy to say when somebody needs to retire. That guy doesn't need to retire. He's the man. And I think he's probably got 3 fights left in him. And in a perfect world, which we know this isn't a perfect world, I think you see Brock, I think you see Stipe, and hopefully John Jones. And those are his 3. You know, he'll go out with a bang, man, and then he'll probably retire.
You made the trip down here. What do you do now that you're here in Melbourne?
I just landed. I'm all loopy still from flying in, but no, I love it down here. I'm gonna get me some meat pies, and I can't wait for this fight on Sunday, man.